So we had a video recently where I asked anyone want to see how to capture that level of testimonial, and enough comments came in where I'm making the follow-up to that video of how to capture the video testimonials of people you've helped. And I got an audience here of people who are taking their video production very seriously, their message, their business, their growth very seriously. And John McKinley in the upper left, John, go ahead and wave for a second. Let's see where you are. I'm going to use you as an example because right now you are is it a loan originator? Is it a mortgage broker? What do you call yourself? What's the title?
I am a mortgage banker and a branch manager of a mortgage bank.
So people come to you who can't pay cash for their house or don't want to pay cash for their house, and you will make that transaction happen from a financial perspective.
Correct. I'll be able to get their financing put into place. Worst case scenario, come up with a game plan. So, hey, we have to do this, this, and this. Then we'll be able to put your financing in place.
Yep. And so you probably have seen more horror stories than I could even come up with in terms of people who were stressed, had a problem with the transaction, something fell through, or maybe they did something that they shouldn't have done or didn't know they were supposed to do, and they put the entire deal in jeopardy, their potential dream home in jeopardy, or their downsized home in jeopardy. I'm sure you've seen a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, and I'm thinking when I retire and looking for something to do, I think I'm going to actually write a book on some stories. I will leave the names out of it to protect the innocent, but yeah, I definitely have some stories of situations.
So something I see with a lot of people that are in a transactional business, and you are in a transactional business, you are in their life. Their life is like almost in your hands for like 2 or 3 months. And then they're gone for 3 years or 30 years. True, they once they're in the home, like, yeah, they may refinance or they may move again, but it can be a very transactional business for most people to experience. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is a very transactional business. And just so you know, Don, and for all the consumers that are watching, it does not take me 2 to 3 months to close a loan.
Well, no, I just mean in terms of
I know.
They're with you to find out, how much home can I get? Pre-approval letters, they go looking. I mean, you're engaged with them from the moment they decide they're going to buy, sell, and buy, right? They reach out to you sometimes at the same time as a real estate agent, or sometimes before. Like, it's not just give me a loan and we're going to close in 3 weeks and we're moving on. You go deeper than that.
No, it's a very deep process. And yes, sometimes I do literally, which is, I be honest with anybody that's wanting to ever buy a house, please, yes, you want to get with a real estate agent because you want to make sure you have the right professional in your corner, but you've got to get your financing into place. That is the most important step, because when somebody comes to me and goes, okay, I've got a contract. Well, we had some trouble with ABC lender, and now we've got 2 weeks to close. Can you help put this file together and get it closed? It makes it become a very stressful situation where, let's be honest, anybody who's ever bought or sold real estate, it's a very stressful, emotional transaction. And that's why I like to have that time to work with them, because my goal is, how do I make this the most pleasant experience a consumer, a borrower can have? Because you've got other things to worry about. You're moving. If you have children, then your children are worried about the schooling. There's a whole array of stuff.
So John, you do a pretty good job telling the story, and it's a pretty good job of relaying that. But what if you had somebody you've actually helped, a family you've helped, or someone you've helped who went through something, and they said what you just said about you? Would that be more impactful or less impactful for people considering doing business with you?
Oh, that would be gratefully impactful for my business, because it's coming straight from somebody's mouth who's experienced me telling people what I do. Okay, that's fine. You can see somebody who's running a business tell you whatever they want to tell you. But when you actually have actual people that I can say, yes, they actually went through me for the transaction, that are stating that, it's night and day difference.
So picture this. If you say it, it may or may not have happened. If they say it about you, the trust and the really the effect factor goes through the roof. So John, here's the problem though. And you can get you can get Google ratings and they can leave you nice notes and send you great emails and great texts, but very few people will ever get on video to tell you that, won't they? Very few people will ever be comfortable enough to give you a video referral or testimonial. Is that accurate?
That's very accurate.
And even though sometimes when you ask for one, sometimes you've saved them from incredible hardship. You've really saved the deal and saved their mortgage and really helped them advance their life. You've had a massive impact. They tell you, "Oh, John, you're so great. You really helped us. You were awesome. Oh, hey, would you mind making me a video on that?" And then crickets, right? Or you get the Google, like they type something out. Well, that's cute. But having your testimonials on video is incredibly impactful and incredibly necessary. So, John, let me walk through how you may get people to give you those video testimonials without you having to wait for them to arrive on your phone. Is that valuable? Can we do that?
That would be great.
Good. So it's going to be a little extra work, though.
That's okay.
Okay.
I mean,
because John, you do the work, and that work's going to go work for you in return tenfold. That message out there is people are going to relate to it, convert, and be reaching out looking for you versus you going out into the top of the funnel and trying to find them. You work into your process now that you tell them at the closing or right after before the closing or right when you know the deal's like done, right? Like the transaction's happened. And I want you to go move in and enjoy your home. I'll be reaching out to you sometime in the next month or two. And I'd love it. It'd mean the world to me if you could come on Zoom with me and talk about your experience. What happened, what was good, what you liked, what you didn't like. And some of that I really want to know because I'm always looking for ways to improve. And you leave it at that because, John, they just closed. They got the keys. They're going to go to their home. They don't want to jump on with you right now. Right? Is that fair?
They're busy moving. They're busy moving.
Yeah, I'm busy,
making
John.
sure all the
Thanks,
utilities
John.
are
Peace.
connected.
Out. Thanks. I'm out. I'll call you if the rates come down. I want to refinance. Whatever. You let 30 days or 60 days go by. They get moved in. I don't care if you let a few months go by, but whatever you tell them, follow up and say, "Hey, I'd love 15 or 20 minutes of your time to go over the process of again, what you liked, what you didn't like," and you send them a booking link so they can book some time with you that's convenient for them and for you. And when they come on, by the way, in Zoom, all of you record everything you ever do on Zoom. Record everything. I can't tell you the amount of times I wish I would have been recording something. So now, John, I just record it all. Okay? And your conversation is just that. You're asking them, what were some of the things that you were worried about when you started the process? What are some of the reasons that you were looking to move? What were some of the things that you worried about in terms of getting the loan? What were some of the challenges? Right? You go through a conversation with them. And you ask what was good and how's the house now? How does it feel to be moved in? Right? And you're literally just having a conversation. And in that conversation, something's going to come up that you're going to hear them say, and you're going to be like, "Oh, wow, if I had that on video, that would be huge for my business. Would you mind if I used this recording, just took that snippet and maybe built it into a video that I'm putting together for, I don't know, for whatever you're doing. Marketing. I wouldn't say marketing. I would probably say for something that I'm putting together where people who are on the fence may choose to work with me." I would say probably 7 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times they're going to say yes. Because now, once in a while they can't, right? Some people can't. Now, and that may be their profession or whatever. But most people, the reason they don't give you the video testimonial is they don't know what to say. They may even get up their phone, they may start doing it, and they may hate what they said and never send it to you. They have good intentions. They want to help you, John. But if you can make helping you easier, then bring them on and have a conversation. And then what you'll do in the editing is you'll pick out those little snippets that they gave you permission on video to use. And all you need to have is 3 or 4 of those 10 to 12 second sound bites. And now you got a 60-second video reel, 45-second, 50-second, 1-minute video reel of 4 or 5 people talking about how great it was to work with you.
Well, see, I also like it too from the perspective of I'm asking them to tell me what they liked and what they didn't like and
Yep.
what they would like to see improve.
Yep.
So I can now go through and make notes and go, okay, this is where I need to make some changes in my business. This will actually help me. Apart from getting the testimonials from clients, it will also help me better my business, because who better to tell me how they want to be treated and taken care of than the actual customers that I work with.
Yeah. Now, no one in the world is better at this than Joel Bauer. Most of you know that mentor of mine, mentor of some people, many people here, but there's a lot of people that do this various different ways. But there's very few who are effective doing it online, doing it remotely. So to have them in, having the conversation, you're going to put them right back in the emotional state they were when they closed on that transaction. That's important, right? If you jump on to give me a testimonial, well, you get a lot of no's there. I don't have time for that. But if you go through the good and the bad, what they liked, what they didn't like, you just said, you're putting them right back in that emotional state. And gold will fall out if you're looking for it. There will be gold there. And then you're just going to ask to use the gold. That's it. It's that simple.
I can even ask for somebody that they may know who wants to buy or sell some real estate as well too.
Oh, sure. And that's the ask for the referral. What I'm looking for that 60-second video is that 60-second video is them referring not just, someone they know or two people they know, but John, hundreds of people they don't know, thousands of people they don't know. It's way more powerful than send me one lead. That video is going to go out and bring back 10 and 100-fold and 1,000-fold what you would get by asking them who they know, which you should do anyway. You should do anyway. But the 60-second highlight reel, the 90-second highlight reel is going to do all of the selling for you, all of the funnel work for you. And almost nobody has it. And the ones that I do see out there, for the most part, are terrible. Here's another thing you could do with it. Video is the most powerful, but you could also ask them if you could take what they just said, quote them, and say, hey, is LinkedIn the best place for me to get a picture of you if I wanted to put you next to the quote? You could also get a still version of it too. And most people's LinkedIn picture is way more professional than their Facebook picture, right? So it's your way of easing into asking for permission. But I think the most powerful thing for you would be when you get to have the families around, or at least the couple, if that's who you really want to serve, have them around. Now, some realtors, you might not be able to you can't really, some realtors in their marketing, you can't market to a family. That's discrimination. And I'm not getting into all that, right? But John, just know your rules, know what you can say, can't say. If anyone makes a monetary claim, you got to be super careful if you're going to use it. Super careful. I really want you to almost avoid that, John. I almost want you to go into the emotional state of what we didn't think we could afford a home. And John, you really made us see that not only could we afford a home, but now is a great time to do it. John, we didn't think we could do this. John, we didn't think we could do that. After working with you, John, we're in our dream home. After working with you, John, now we successfully downsized and are in a home that we got our equity back, or whatever the case may be. John, I think if you give this a shot, you're going to get addicted to it, man. You're going to get addicted to it. I don't know almost any people in your space who are doing this as their process. 3 to 6 months after the transaction, following back up to have a conversation about what worked and didn't work, putting them back in state, and being able to capture the story where you don't have to tell it anymore. They tell it.
I love that, Don. That is fantastic because it serves on so many levels. It's when people are in the process of moving, at that point in the transaction, not that they're unhappy with the service I provided, not that they're unhappy with me. They're very, very busy. They're going through all of the moving, they're getting situated in their
Yep.
new home. Now I give them a couple months.
Yep.
I follow up with them and go, hey, just wanted to touch base, see how you're doing. And that way it gives them the time after they've digested everything to regurgitate it back to me how they felt about the process. Tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything, and then allow me to have captures of that that I can take and go out there and share with other people who are maybe on the fence about working with me,
Yep.
maybe not sure, or maybe talking with somebody else. But then if they see other people that look like them that have gone through the home buying process with the mortgage experience with me and got a very pleasant result from it, it's going to set me apart from all of my competition.
Yep.
And
And John, just like in the video that inspired this, you're going to set that as your waiting room video. So when people are coming into a meeting with you, that's what they're watching. That 60 or 90 seconds. They're watching that. And you may find that you purposely leave people in the waiting room for another minute or so just to be able to watch the video. So when they come in, they're in the right state of mind. John, I see a lot of people do this. I see a lot of people attempt to do this. I see a lot of people who know they should be doing this and just don't. So I hope I bridge some of that gap that you were looking for. Is what we just shared something you can go execute?
oh, yes, immediately. I mean, thank you, Don. This is something that I've needed that's going to help take my business up to another level. And I just want to thank you again that you and Zach, you guys have what you've done for me and my business is changing my life. And I can't honestly say enough that you guys are just phenomenal in what you do, how much you give people. If you've never had any dealings with Don, he is incredible. The man gives from his heart. The man has a passion for what he does, and he wants to see his students succeed. And that's all I've seen from you guys is what can we do to help you succeed?
John,
Follow
appreciate you,
our
man.
ingredients, follow the recipe. It works. We're here to help you.
Appreciate you, John. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.